all in. And away they go. Light the City hopped away fast, but so did Enchanting Lady. So those two will go on to lead them early. Glory's taken a strong hold on the outside. Rat-a-tap-tap tucks in right behind the leaders in fourth. Reina de Bateria is pretty close today, only gives them 3-length start. On the outside of that we have Stellar Wind, and then last of all is Achiever's Legacy, 7 off the lead. They head to the three-quarter pole, and Enchanting Lady got a nice comfortable lead now. Long Rain not in any hurry out on the lead. On the far side, Light the City's going to keep her company throughout. Riding behind that comes Rat-a-tap-tap down at the rail. Rider sitting a little awkward on this one. Up alongside of those two now we have Glory. Racing in behind Glory comes Stellar Wind, who's only 3 lengths off the leaders. Then Reina de Bateria, and last of all Achiever's Legacy. 6 lengths would cover the lot. They run past the half-mile pole, and it's still Enchanting Lady on the inside and Light the City, the two leaders. Rat-a-tap-tap right there in the third spot. Up alongside comes Glory. Riding behind them we have Stellar Wind, who sent for an early run on the far side. Then Reina de Bateria, and still last of all Achiever's Legacy, but 4 lengths covers the lot. They lining up as they come to the quarter pole now. Enchanting Lady down at the rail. On the outside, Glory. Light the City is right there as well, and Stellar Wind forced to go wide, but Stellar Wind right there, 4 in a line as they come for home. Now Enchanting Lady's given way. Here's a late run from Achiever's Legacy on the outside too, but it is Stellar Wind in full flight for the wire. Stellar Wind, Light the City on the outside, but huge performance today from Stellar Wind. A scintillating performance. Wins the Santa Ysabel stylishly. Second, Light the City, then Glory and Achiever's Legacy. And away they go in the Santa Anita Oaks. Luminance is setting off for the early lead. Glory being ridden along from the inside gate. So Glory at the rail and Luminance go on to lead them early. Curlin's Fox settles right behind them. Wild at Heart up alongside. They're going a good pace early on. In behind that, Singing Kitty's in the 5th position. Down at the rail comes Light the City, now 5 off the leaders. And at the back is Stellar Wind. They head to the three-quarter pole, and Glory along the inside is ensured a good pace. Luminance keeps the pressure on from second. They 2 lengths in front of Curlin's Fox. Right up alongside of that is Wild at Heart. Then we come back to Singing Kitty, racing between horses at the rail. Light the City, and on the far side is Stellar Wind. They've taken closer order now. 4.5 would cover the lot. They run past a half-mile pole, and Luminance on the far side goes on. Glory down at the rail. Wild at Heart is a joint third. At the rail, Curlin's Fox. Light the City now been sent along as 4 off them. Now there goes Stellar Wind on the far side, and Stellar Wind starting a run now. Stellar Wind, green cap on the far side, going all the way up to second. Then back to Singing Kitty. They come to the quarter pole, and Luminance is the leader, but Stellar Wind has made this big run to take a run now. Behind that, Wild at Heart. They're at the top of the lane in the Santa Anita Oaks now, and Stellar Wind, she's made this big looping run and strikes the front. Luminance is in second. Past the 8th pole they come now, and it's Stellar Wind going grittily for the wire here, and it's Stellar Wind. An absolutely scintillating performance today. Stellar Wind and Victor Espinosa could not have been more impressive in the Santa Anita Oaks. Stellar Wind wins it easy. Luminance second, then Wild at Heart. Behind that, Curlin's Fox. The last two were Glory, Singing Kitty, and pulled up was Light the City.
All right, Tom, they're all in line. They're off in the Kentucky Oaks. And it was a very good start here for Lovely Maria. She comes out running with Kondo Commando and Angela Renee between horses. These 3 on to the front. Sarah Sis came out running in 4th and shook up, is down toward the inside. Then Money's on Charlotte. A long shot in mid-pack early on. Forever Unbridled is down toward the rail. After that comes Include Betty, who's closer today. She's only 7 lengths off the lead. Bird at the wires in between horses. Puka's there on the outside. Then I'm a Chatterbox. A 3-wide run for Stellar Wind. And then comes Ocean Wave, and the early trailer is asking for money. And the opening quarter mile as they go onto the backstretch goes at 23 1/5 seconds. And it is Kondo Commando in front by 3/4 of a length. Angela Renee on the outside second. The Great Filly Shook Up is third down toward the rail. Lovely Maria follows fourth by another 3. Forever Unbridled has been guided off the rail by Mike Smith, 5.5 lengths off the lead, and then Money's on Charlotte between horses. Bird at the wire making an early run down toward the inside. I'm a Chatterbox is 9 lengths off the lead as they run past a half mile and move into the far turn in 47 1/5 seconds. So it's Condo Commando and Angela Renee, and these two are matching strides with 3 furlongs to run. And on their outside, Lovely Maria confronts them, and then comes Shook Up. Forever Unbridled is 5th and moving on the outside. Then it's Money's on Charlotte, the rest of them with work to do, and Angela Renee to catch at the top of the stretch, and Lovely Maria's right up alongside. Angela Renee and Lovely Maria into the final furlong of the Kentucky Oaks, and Shook Up is third on the outside of them. 1 furlong to run, and Lovely Maria and Kerwin Clark have taken the lead, and they're pulling away by 3. And then comes Shook Up on the outside on the Chatterbox. Lovely Maria and Kerwin Clark have won the Kentucky Oaks. It was Shook Up second, and third under the wire was I'm a Chatterbox, in a final time of 1 minute 50.45 seconds.
Phillies run first and third in the Kentucky.
And they're off. Conquest Curl Girl broke alertly. She also broke inward as she takes the lead. Sheer Pleasure, Roxana taken in hand. Terrace Tango now moves up. Scat Means Go, and Stellar Wind has to go wide into the turn, but she's up close, and there's a lot of issues going on here. Roxana having some difficulty there into that first turn. Roxana is drifting out badly. It was not smooth for Scat Means Go. In the meantime, Conquest Curl Girl sets a moderate tempo. It's 3/4 of a length. Terrace Tango is in second. Then comes Sheer Pleasure in third. They're followed by Stellar Wind, fourth, but only 2.5 lengths off the lead. And then it's Scat Means Go and Roxana, rider's foot out of the irons at the back and pretty much out of it. Down the back stretch, the leader, Conquest Curl Girl, could not be going slower up top, leads 3/4 of a length. Terrace Tango on the stretch out second. At the rail, it's Sheer Pleasure with Stellar Wind. Outside of them, Scat Means Go moves into contention. Scat Means Go is 4 wide, and now Stellar Wind and her move together. They sprint into the far turn. Terrace Tango puts her nose in front. Stellar Wind is going with her. Conquest Curl Girl at the rail. It was a brief bid for Scat Means Go. She's dropping back. Sheer Pleasure takes fourth. 1/4 mile to run. Stellar Wind has covered the most real estate on her home track. She's asked to go. Terrace Tango in between them. At the rail, Conquest Curl Girl. There's an 1/8 mile to go. Stellar Wind will have to work. Terrace Tango's very tough, getting a Hall of Fame ride there, nose and nose with a 16th to go. Terrace Tango, Stellar Wind, or Terrace Tango, Stellar Wind, Terrace Tango, Stellar Wind by a nose. Terrace Tango ran her heart out. Conquest Curl Girl, and then it was Sheer Pleasure.
And away they go. Roxana stumbled at the start. Roxana's last early. Ultimate Holiday's out fast from the outside, and Big Book goes with her along the inside. Hone In is settling in third. In behind those two now, we have at the rail is Stellar Wind, who's a joint third, 3.5 off these leaders, alongside Rat-a-Tap-Tap, and last of all is Roxana. On to the backstretch they go, and Ultimate Holiday out in front tries to slow them down now. It is Stellar Wind tracking from second. Big Book is a comfortable third. Rat-a-Tap-Tap in fourth, 3.5 off the leaders, and then back to Hone In, and a gap of 4 back to Roxana. They head towards the half-mile pole, and still Ultimate Holiday got a pretty easy lead out here. Now here comes Stellar Wind to put some pressure on her. Stellar Wind turns the pressure on with a half-mile to go. Big Book is right there in third. Rat-a-Tap-Tap on the far side. Hone In is now 5 off the leader, and still another 4 back to Roxana. They run past the 3/8 pole, and Stellar Wind now has to kick for home, and Stellar Wind gets the lead and kicks on for home. Ultimate Holiday tries to come back on the inside. Big Book coming on to get second. Rat-a-Tap-Tap in with a shot on the outside. They are homeward bound now, and Stellar Wind's made this big run, has opened up to lead by 4. Stellar Wind finding more on the lead. Big Book and Rat-a-Tap-Tap chasing second and third. But it's Stellar Wind in a dominating performance today. Stellar Wind and Victor Espinosa just cantering home in the Torrey Pines. Never looked like losing. Stellar Wind to Big Book, Rat-a-Tap-Tap, Roxana, then Ultimate Holiday and Hone In.
And they're off at the Distaff. My Sweet Addiction went to her knees at the start. She recovers quickly and now comes forward to challenge Calamity Kate for the early lead. Wedding Toast comes away in third, and then Yahilwa, who's fourth up on the outside for the move into the first turn. My Sweet Addiction carefully enters the turn, has the lead outward from the rail, 3 parts of a length. Calamity Kate second, Wedding Toast third between horses. Yahilwa far outside is fourth, just a length and a half off the lead. Stop Charging Maria is in fifth. Peace and War sixth on the outside. Carolina seventh. Sheer Drama eighth. I'm a Chatterbox ninth. And then Stellar Wind is in 10th. Warren's Veneta 11th on the outside. Salama 12th back toward the inside. Got Lucky is 13th, and Frivolous is 14th and last, 23 and 2/5 seconds for the opening quarter. Yahilwa gets alongside of My Sweet Addiction to challenge for the top spot. Calamity Kate has room at the rail. Wedding Toast is there on the far outside. Carolina is fifth in between horses, 47 and 1/5 seconds for the first half mile. Stop Charging Maria, shifting lanes toward the far outside. She's nearly 5 lengths off the lead in sixth. Peace and War has lost a spot. I'm a Chatterbox moves up on the inside, 7 lengths from the lead. Stellar Wind and Sheer Drama move as a team to the far outside, 6 lengths from the front. Yahilwa and My Sweet Addiction going at it for the top spot. A quarter mile to come. Stop Charging Maria. Far outside goes third. Wedding Toast now picks it up fourth. Stellar Wind angles wide in the fifth position. Carolina sixth. Sheer Drama seventh. Frivolous goes to the grandstand side in eighth. Got Lucky has a ways to come. Has to go very wide in the stretch. It's wide open. Stellar Wind. Stop Charging Maria going at it for the top spot. Moving by the 8th pole. Yahilwa next. Calamity Kate toward the inside. Sheer Drama is 5th. Stop Charging Maria, short lead. Stellar Wind is fighting on. Stop Charging Maria just keeps battling back. Stop Charging Maria wins the Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff for Javier Castellano in 1 minute 48 and 4/5 seconds.
Racing. Beholder begins well. Lost Bus with her head in the front of the champion. Lost Bus shading Beholder in the early going, followed by Finest City. Stellar Wind over along the inside, then Divina Commedia. Stevens was happy to concede the lead, and at the 7/8 pole, Lost Bus crosses. Beholder moves up within a half length. In third spot, Finest City, who's in the 3 path. Stellar Wind on the inside is a length and a quarter behind Beholder at the 3/4 of a mile pole, and Divina Commedia is 5th and last. Into the back stretch, and the lead belongs to Lost Bus in a surprisingly slowly run race. Lost Bus just hacking along on the lead. A neck to Beholder and a length and a quarter. Stellar Wind on the inside of Finest City and Divina Commedia last of all. Field covered by 3.5 lengths in the Vanity Mile. It's Lost Bus by 3/4. Beholder second. Stellar Wind under lock and key. Finest City alongside her and Divina Commedia edging forward outside them. As 2.5 lengths covers the quintet, Beholder moves past Lost Bus at the 3/8 pole. Takes the lead by a neck around the far turn. Finest City third. Stellar Wind is in a very awkward position, being guided off the rail, but Beholder receiving all the favours in transit. And at the quarter pole, it's Beholder in front, a length and a half to Lost Bus. Finest City 3 wide, and Stellar Wind is on the back of Beholder, splitting horses. Fourth to the 8th pole they come. Beholder by 2.5 lengths. Stellar Wind into second position, followed by Finest City. It's Beholder from Stellar Wind. Beholder is going to be far superior in the Vanity Mile. Another domineering performance by the champion mare, defeating Stellar Wind, who will lose no admirers with her return to action, and third home Finest City.
Goes in. They're all set now for the Grade 1. Clement L. Hirsch. And away they go. Beholder pops out the gate, and Beholder's going to go straight to the front. Stellar Wind is right there in the second spot. Divina Commedia crossing over to be a joint third along with the Dream, and Off the Road is taken back last. Only 5 lengths would cover the lot. Into the turn they go, and Gary Stevens has Beholder nice and relaxed out here. She takes them along a sensible pace. Along the inside, the Dream is right there now in just a tad tight. On the far side, Stellar Wind is now going back to take second. Divina Commedia is in the fourth spot, only 3 lengths off the leaders. And then there's a gap of almost 6 back to Off the Road. Down the backstretch they go now, and it is still Beholder, nice and relaxed on a long rein out here, leads them a half a length. Stellar Wind is trying to keep some pressure on her from second. On the inside, The Dream is right there third. Divina Commedia still in the fourth position. Only 3 lengths covers those 4. Now a big gap of 8 lengths back to Off the Road. They run into the far turn. Beholder, now Victor Espinosa shakes up Stellar Wind, and these two start to draw clear. Stellar Wind now is clinging to Beholder along the inside as they come towards the quarter pole. Beholder at the rail and Stellar Wind. So far, just a tremendous horse race. Remember, these are 2 class horses, and neither one of them is going to give an inch. Stellar Wind on the outside has taken a little advantage, but Beholder's far from done. Here she comes back again. Beholder and Stellar Wind, what a horse race. These two nose and nose to the wire. Beholder on the inside, Stellar Wind on the outer. Stellar Wind's going to beat her. Stellar Wind has won the Clement L Hirsch under Victor Espinosa. Beholder a very game second. Then Divina Commedia Off the Road, and The Dream was last.
Racing. Beholder and Tara's Tango win the start together from Stellar Wind, who's just livened up in those first few strides by Espinosa. He wants to be part of the early action too. Off the Road is close handy on the inside of Vale Dory, and they vacate the home stretch covered by only 2 lengths. Beholder with her head in front of the 7/8 pole over Tara's Tango. Off the Road right on the back of the champion mare, and Stellar Wind's out in the 3 path. At the rear is Vale Dory. 3/4 of a mile from home, and Beholder in front by a half length to Tara's Tango, and Stellar Wind moving up out 3 deep. 2.5 lengths to Vale Dory, sitting back off the speed. Off the Road drifting back 5th and last. They're at the 5/8 pole, and Beholder in search of her 4th consecutive victory in the Zenyatta Stakes. On top 3 parts of a length from Stellar Wind, with Tara's Tango just losing a little bit of ground on the top pair coming past the half-mile pole. Vale Dory 4th, and Off the Road, the long shot stablemate to Beholder, back 3 lengths last of all. 3/8 from home. Beholder by a half length. Stellar Wind is going to test her in the run around the far turn. Moves up within a head. It's Beholder, Stellar Wind, as a burgeoning rivalry intensifies, reaching the top of the Santa Anita stretch, and Stellar Wind is on the outside of Beholder. They're together by 5 lengths to Vale Dory, then Tara's Tango. Beholder and Stellar Wind at the 3/16 pole are locked in a fierce struggle by 6 lengths to Vale Dory. Past the 8th pole, and it's Stellar Wind on the outside, and Beholder, an exquisite piece of racing theatre. Stellar Wind on the outside, just in front. Beholder tries to come back gallantly, but Stellar Wind is just in front. A red letter day for Espinosa. Stellar Wind has beaten Beholder a neck. They were 7 clear of Vale Dory and Tara's Tango.
Here we go, as I'm a Chatterbox takes her spot in the starting gate, and here's Beholder in the final race of her career, going against Songbird and Stellar Wind, and they're all in line. Roar comes up here at Santa Anita, ready for the start. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, and oh, Stellar Wind did not break at all. She had a very slow start as Mike Smith sends Songbird to the front. And Beholder is right there, and I'm a Chatterbox is going to put some pressure on now, too. And then it's Carolina Way running in 4th position. Landover Sea is next. Stellar Wind, who just did not come out of the gate well at all. It's about 6 lengths off the lead with the Argentinian Corona del Inca alongside of her. Forever Unbridled is last, and Songbird leads the way through a 23-1 opening quarter mile. A solid first fraction for her, but she's in the clear as they race on to the backstretch. I'm a Chatterbox is running along in 2nd position onto the backstretch run. And then comes Carolina. Beholder on the outside is 4th. She's now 4 lengths off of Songbird up the backstretch. It's another 2.5 to Stellar Wind. And Victor Espinosa has her 6 lengths off the lead right now. Then Landover Sea, Forever Unbridled, and Corona del Inca. So it's a 47 flat half for Songbird. Very easy for her as she continues her journey into the far turn with a length lead. I'm a Chatterbox continues to pursue in 2nd. Beholder has not moved yet. Gary Stevens has not asked her to go as of yet. Now he's starting to ask just a bit, and she's a length and a half off of Songbird, third in the far turn. Songbird is taken on now, and here comes Beholder, and a confrontation of champions as they come toward the top of the stretch. I'm a Chatterbox trying to cling to them. Stellar Wind's got work to do. Songbird and Beholder, and they're into the stretch, and here we go. Songbird set down, Beholder is alongside. Forever Unbridled is 2.5 lengths behind them. Furlong to run. Songbird, Beholder, they are nose to nose. This race living up to its expected power as they come to the wire. Their noses apart. It's Beholder. I think she got her head down on the wire. Songbird dug in gambling all the way. The two of them right together. And then came Forever Undens. I believe Beholder did it.
Beholder, what a performance.
They're off. Streamline and Terra Promessa break, Beth. Durango away in third. Stellar Wind broke well, but then was taken back between horses, and Stellar Wind will be fourth early, and Terra Promessa will be first early. It is Terra Promessa at the clubhouse turn. A length and a quarter in front of Durango in second. Stellar Wind has pulled Espinoza to the inside in third, and she's a length and a half from the front. Then comes Streamline. She races fourth. Two back to Tiger Moth in fifth, and the trailer is Divine Elegance as they turn and run up the backstretch in the 53rd Apple Blossom, and Terra Promessa is doing it smartly. Terra Promessa, a measured 3/4 of a length over Durango in second. Stellar Wind, the champion, is at the rail third and a length and a half from the front. Streamline is fourth. She's got 2.5 to make up. Then comes Tiger Moth, and Divine Elegance is still the trailer, 6 lengths first to last. No excuses today for Terra Promessa as she glides along and begins to open up a bit, leaving the backstretch without being asked. Terra Promessa and Jose Ortiz. Now Stellar Wind is asked to go after her by Victor Espinoza, and here comes the acid test for Terra Promessa, just a half length in front of Stellar Wind. 3.5 back to Streamline is third. The stage is set in the Apple Blossom. Stellar Wind and Terra Promessa, and they are even coming to the final furlong. Stellar Wind to the outside. Terra Promessa counter punches from the inside. Stellar Wind narrowly in front. Terra Promessa just can't quite go with her, and the champion is back. Stellar Wind wins the Apple Blossom. Stellar Wind won a length and a half. Terra Promessa, valiant in defeat. Streamline third.
1 to 2, Stellar Wind, they're ready. Racing. Vale Dory just in front of Finer City through the opening bounds of the race. Stellar Wind on the inside. Smith backing off on Finest City, and Espinoza slices between the pair and ranges up on the outside to fire an early salvo. At the 7/8 pole, and Vale Dory in front. Gets away again by a length. Stellar Wind in stalking mode second, and Finest City, to the surprise of several, I imagine, is back last of the three onto the back stretch, where it's Vale Dory just in front of Stellar Wind, who moves up with an ahead. 2 lengths to Finest City. The triumvirate of elite mares makes the run along the Santa Anita back stretch, and Vale Dory holds the lead a half length, pursued by Stellar Wind and Finest City. The minor place getters last year behind the mighty mare for whom this race has been renamed. They're at the half mile, and the lead belongs to Vale Dory, a neck to Stellar Wind, and 2 lengths to Finest City. Vale Dory into the far turn by a neck, with Stellar Wind. She's been stalking in predatory fashion, moves with an ahead midway around the far turn. Finest City 2.5 lengths away. Vale Dory clinging to the most narrow of leads. Stellar Wind is right up alongside of her as they swing for home, 3 clear of Finest City. It's Vale Dory on the inside, and Stellar Wind stride for stride past the 3/16 pole. Vale Dory, Stellar Wind with steely determination on the outside. Vale Dory straining every sinew to keep her streak alive. Stellar Wind comes at her powerfully now. Stellar Wind with the nose in front of Vale Dory, and Stellar Wind over Vale Dory in the thrilling Beholder Mile. Finest City, never a serious factor, was 5 lengths away third.
And away they go. Autumn Flower broke a little awkwardly. Vale Dorry quick into stride, been joined by Stellar Wind. They'll go on to lead them. Motown Lady tucked in at the rail in third. Faithfully's on the outside, and Autumn Flower, the early trailer, only 4 lengths covers the lot. They head to the 3/4 pole, and Vale Dorry outsetting a good pace out here, leads it by a length. Stellar Wind is right there in second. Motown Lady tucked in at the rail in third, been followed then by Faithfully, only 2.5 covers those 4, and the early trailer Autumn Flower. On to the backstretch they go, and Vale Dorry continues to show the way. Stellar Wind right there alongside. Only a length and a half back to Motown Lady tucked in third. Alongside comes Faithfully in the black cap, and still the trailer Autumn Flower, but only 4 lengths covers the lot. No change in this order. All riders appear happy with their situation. Just under a half mile to go, and Vale Dorry continues to lead. Stellar Wind keeps the pressure on second. Motown Lady tucked in third. Faithfully's only 2 off them, and Autumn Flower sent for an early run on the far side. They are coming towards the quarter pole now, and it's still Vale Dorry and Stellar Wind. They are head and head with a 1/4 mile to go. It's 2 lengths back to Faithfully, and then Motown Lady. Top of the lane, Stellar Wind on the outside, and Vale Dorry still nose and nose, nothing separating them. Here comes Faithfully now to take them on the outside. Homeward bound, and it's Vale Dorry and Stellar Wind. Stellar Wind the advantage. Vale Dorry battles on. Stellar Wind had a call on all her class, and Stellar Wind won it ahead. Stellar Wind to Vale Dorry. Neither one would give an inch. Faithfully third, then Motown Lady and Autumn Flower.
And here's Romantic Vision and Brian Hernandez Jr. going into line. They're all in line, ready for a start. They're off in the Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff. Abel Tasman broke near the back of the field as Champagne Room comes out quickly. On the outside is Paradise Woods, and then it's Stellar Wind down toward the inside. Mopetism and Romantic Vision. Elate is right behind them as they make their way toward that first turn. Then Forever Unbridled, and Mike Smith and Abel Tasman will have to come from last in the distaff. They're a good 9 lengths off of Champagne Room, who's the early leader going around that first turn. Champagne Room on top here, and in the clear by a length and a half. Paradise Woods on the outside running along in second. Stellar Wind is third and tucked in as they head to the backstretch. Elate and Jose Ortiz outside of horses. They're 3 lengths behind at this stage. Mopetism follows in fifth. The break of another 2. And then comes Forever Unbridled. And now she's 5 lengths off the lead and beginning to move up outside of horses. Then Romantic Vision. Abel Tasman has been controlled so far. She just went by Romantic Vision, and she's 6.5 lengths behind under Mike Smith as Champagne Room continues to lead them along up the backstretch. Paradise Woods and Ekbeck in second. Outside of those 2, Elate with a perfect run third, just outside the pacemakers. Stellar Wind coming under a ride from Victor Espinoza, and then Mopetism alongside. John Velasquez and Forever Unbridled are on the move now, and here they come with a 4-wide bid, and suddenly they've gone by Elate, and Jose Ortiz is really pumping on her to go, and Mike Smith is asking a ton of run here from Abel Tasman. She's got to get going. Forever Unbridled has made a bid for the lead as they come to the top of the stretch, and Paradise Woods fights on from the inside. Abel Tasman is trying to come on, and here she is on the far outside. Not Elate today. It is Forever Unbridled. Abel Tasman charging, but running out of time. Forever Unbridled's gonna do it. Forever Unbridled has won the Breeders' Cup Distaff over Abel Tasman. Paradise Woods was third. Elate and Unbridled wins for Dallas Stewart in the Longines Breeders' Cup Distaff.
Fred Hertrick